Do you want to live like the Jetsons and come home from work to a fully cooked meal that you didn't even touch that day? Check this out. I bought the Suvie 3.0 Plus, the world's first refrigerated air fryer oven. I'm going to tell you about the good and the bad in this video, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Josh's Smart Home, where I've been building out my smart home for almost 10 years now. I want to share with you the things I've learned so that you can make your home smarter. And here you can just see a couple of the meals that we had cooked. Definitely some pretty good meals and some meals that we could forget about as well. All right, we're going to start with the unboxing. We set this up. You do have to wait about 24 hours for the refrigeration unit to work properly due to the shipping and the movement with some of the lines inside of it. So just one word of caution, don't use that for the first 24 hours. When you do use it, we did have a little bit of problem. When we first tried to use the refrigeration, it kept on airing out. It took, I don't know, maybe a half dozen times or so until it started working. In the meantime, I did reach out to support, and right around when it started working, they said that I needed to, I think it was clear the lines. There's something in the maintenance mode. So if you have any issues with that, if you're using yours, check out the settings in the maintenance and see if you can, run the clear lines or fill the lines or whatever it was called there. That might address your refrigeration issues when you're first getting started. And this is the water reservoir where you add the water in, and off to the side, it shows you the water level as well. So you can look at that. So after that, I want to show you what it's like to actually meal prep. So I did already slide in the potatoes is potato puree with some milk and butter on it and some salt and pepper. You do have to provide your own milk and butter if you get their recipes, as well as the salt and pepper. And then I do have the prime rib here. And this one you cover with water, and then you just go ahead and slide it into the oven. And this is believe a French method for cooking where you have it, within the water, and it's a slow cook temperature at a lower temperature there, and comes out really nice. This is the second time we've had the prime rib because we liked it so much, but that's not the case with all of the recipes. So stay tuned as I talk about some of those. Once you get it into the oven, all the little recipes, they tell you exactly what to do. There are green beans with this one as well, but you cook those right at the end. But there's this little, sticker that goes on here, and you just tap it against, and it beeps, and then it tells you, you can cook now or schedule to cook. This one I'm going to schedule for later today. So I set the time for 5:35 when we want to have it ready, and it tells you to make sure that your water level's at the right place, and then it goes ahead and it checks the water level as well. And then once it does that, it'll go into a cooling mode until it's time to start the meal. So that's all you have to do for the meal prep, and then it'll beep and it'll basically be done when you want it. Excuse me? Have you subscribed yet? If not, could you do that, please? Really helps me out. I appreciate it. And here's a close-up of the sous vide. You can see the pans inside, and that's the prime rib with the mashed potatoes. The prime rib on the bottom, mashed potatoes on the top. And this is just a hair less than counter depth. And you can set these up in the morning before you leave for work, or you can even set it up the night before. So before you go to bed or whatever, you can pop it in, tell it the next day and the time, and it'll refrigerate until it's time to start cooking it. You don't have to worry about it while you're at work. It'll decide when it's the right time to start cooking. It'll put it into the right cooking mode and cook it and have it ready when you are. It's not only good for work, but also if you have kids in activities or sports and you have, really busy life and you don't want to be eating that fast food all the time or eating out all the time. You can have this home cooked meal ready right when you are, right at your convenience, and not spend a total fortune. But you are going to spend a small fortune. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the price of the meals. In my opinion, most of the meals are overpriced for the fact that you're still having to, use your own electricity and some of your own ingredients with the milk and butter and those kinds of things. There's a little bit of prep on these, not very much, but it does take you a few minutes sometimes, depending on what the recipe is and what you need to do to prep it. Or right at the end, maybe there's a situation like this one where you're supposed to put the green beans in right at the end while you're slicing up the prime rib. And so many of the items that you buy from Sous Vide directly, the meals do have like a premium price. So there's like a standard price that you pay to be able to get the meals, and it starts, I believe, at around like $11 a serving, which is pretty steep for some of the meals in my opinion. And then some of the meals have, extra charges on top of that. I think the highest ones are maybe like $15 or $16 per serving on top of that. So it can get very expensive. You could be spending close to $30 a plate to eat in your own house, which is way too much for me on a daily basis. The one thing you can do to work around that is you can utilize the sous vide with your own items. So, like if you're having chicken, you could buy frozen chicken breast from Sam's Club or Costco or BJ's Wholesale Club, wherever you like to get it. You could get it in bulk, pretty cheap. Pop that right into the sous vide, and you can tell sous vide to use its chicken cook time and temperatures for that. So that's one option there. Or you can make notes of how long it's actually cooking the different meals and utilize that and adjust to your desire there, so that you can have the same type of convenience without paying those premium prices, because I'm not a fan of those premium prices. Here's another dish going into the sous vide, and here's what it looks like at the end about their food. Some of it, like I said, the prime rib, we said, yes, definitely very good. We liked the salmon. Most of us liked the lasagna. There was a meat lovers lasagna that we got. The chicken that we had was good. But there were several meals that we didn't really care for as well. We didn't like the orange chicken. We didn't like the pulled pork, the barbecue sauce. We didn't like it all. We actually took advantage of the fact that we like Sweet Baby Ray's, and we put that on some other things instead of using their prepackaged barbecue sauce. So again, adding to the price, because we're supplying our own products as well, because we just don't like theirs. And the kids did not like the mac and cheese. They said, those little bowls that you microwave of Kraft or Velveeta, said those are much better than this garbage out of the sous vide. Sometimes even the kids are saying, we aren't eating from the sous vide, right? Because some of these meals have scarred them. So where do we really end up? Let's get into my final thoughts. I think we're definitely going to keep the unit. I'm not sure we're going to keep on ordering from them, or we're going to really reduce the frequency with which we order and which meals we order, sticking only to the ones that we really like and avoiding some of the other ones. We do find also that a lot of the meals end up with the same sides, so it'll be like rice and peas, or rice and broccoli, or something like that. And we don't like that in every meal. So I think providing some of our own food is going to be a much better solution. Just to using the sous vide, we can buy some of the things in bulk from Sam's Club or another warehouse club, and make sure that we're buying it at a cheaper price and able to cook it, cheaper in our house with the convenience of the Suvie 3.0, the world's first refrigerated air fryer.